Hey guys, what's going on? So today we're doing an install of a Lectron carburetor on my TC125. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna want to do is make sure your petcock's off, so you don't have any fuel. Well, you're gonna have fuel in the carburetor, but you just don't want as much. And then probably gonna want to undo this little clamp off your carburetor. Just use your hand. You don't need a pair of pliers or anything. You could if you wanted to, but you don't need it. Pull that back. Fuel's gonna come out, so be wary of that. Oh, there's not even any of that. Okay, maybe just a little bit. And then move this back just a bit.
On the ground, dude. It's okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna dump this fuel on the ground real quick. Okay, next off, we're gonna undo these clamps right here just to make sure we can move the carburetor around if we need to. You don't need to do them all the way, just make them loose so you can move the carburetor around. I think these are a pain in the butt if you loosen them too much anyway. So, what next?
Does that fit?
Fit what?
The boot clamp.
The next thing you're going to do is try to get the carburetor out of these boots. Well, I'll come back once I get it out. Carburetor's out. Now you're going to want to take off these up here so you can pull the throttle cable off. Okay, so now that you have the carburetor off and the sliders still connected to the throttle cable, we're going to put that to the side. Old Cayenne carburetor. The reason we're switching is because no matter how we jetted this thing, we could not get it to run right. We live up here in Utah, so 5,000 feet, and we've used Husqvarna's jetting diagrams, and we still have never been able to get it perfect. It just bogs off the bottom end. So now we're going to pull the slider off. You gotta like push down and pull up. There you go. That spring's gonna shoot. We also bought a JD jet kit to see if we could fix it with the JD needle and everything. We couldn't figure it out, so drastic measures have been taken. We're now going Lectron. After you complete that, we're going to head up to the throttle assembly. We're gonna pull that off to get the throttle cable out. They came with a new throttle cable. We'll be replacing the stock one. So right here, I don't know if you can see those two silver. Those are 8mm on this TC125. We'll be pulling those, and then I'll come back and show you what to do next. So Lectron sends you a throttle cable when you purchase a carburetor, and we have a Motion Pro aftermarket throttle cable, but it's different. This stuff down here is different. They've got like a flat part. Ours just has threads on it. I'll show you. Right there. There's no flat part. This one just has threads. So we have to take the seat and the gas tank off with these shrouds on, and we'll come back. Okay, so we've begun reinstalling the Lectron throttle cable and pulling the gas tank off right now. You gotta pull a bunch of little plastics, what are they, screws, these things. They have got some nice threads on them. Anyway, yeah, we're pulling the gas tank off. Okay, so we pulled the gas tank off, and he's still working on the throttle cable. We are now going to install the new carburetor, I guess. Is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah, attempt to.
That needs to be clean, dude. It's sticking. It's not even on.
It's not even on. Don't worry about it. You gotta wait.
Anyway, we got the throttle cable routed down the side of the frame to the top of the carburetor. The Lectron logo goes backwards. You gotta See that? It goes towards the rear of the bike. Anyway, the choke's on the right side now. Usually it was on the left, the stock carb. We're gonna put the slider in now. I just have it taken apart over here. Spring and slider, everything. Okay, so throttle cable is connected and carburetor is installed officially. So now we have to piece the bike back together bit by bit. Gas tank, fenders, air filter, etc. Seat. And we'll show you how it is on the first startup. The bike is halfway put together. We're going to test start it before we put everything on. I got one bolt in that fender. Gas tank's back on. He's tightening the clamps on the airbox. Let's do this. Okay, here's the first start on this bad boy. No choke. Oh, right up. Idle's turning up a bit. The idle's turning up a bit. There's the install. We'll finish getting everything put back together. And we'll take it out. Come back and tell you the results of how it behaves compared to the old one. Okay, so we got the carburetor installed completely. And it runs better. A lot better, actually. It doesn't bog off the bottom end. It's a 125, so it bogs a bit, but after you get past the like 5,000 RPMs, it wakes right up, and it's not running rich anymore, so we're not going to be fouling any plugs. Would I recommend it? Yes. It's worth it.